So we got a call back in the fall that there were honeybees getting into the building, and we found they had established a hive in the wall, but over winter it's not the most ideal time to transplant a hive since it's so cold. So we've waited till spring and they survived the winter, and so now we're going to open up the wall and take the beehive out. This is the bee vacuum we're going to use. And so all the bees will actually end up in this box right here. And so at the end, we should just be able to open this box, shake the bees all into the hive. Okay. And so as we're working inside the building, we're just gonna have a vacuum going, and whether they're flying or on the walls, or we're just gonna try to suck up as many as we can. The hive that we're gonna try to build are these parts right here. And we brought 2 boxes just in case, since this hive has been here a year. They could be pretty large in the wall, but we'll at least do 1 box. And so in the box, we have some empty frames that we're gonna fill up with the honeycomb that we cut from the wall. But we also have some used comb that has some honey residue on it and smells like an established hive. So that should lure them in to stay put. So all the babies are gonna go in there, all the brood, and then any honey that we find, we'll put the comb in here. And so the honey will drip through, and so we'll be able to save that. And then the beeswax won't go to waste either. We'll be able to use that to make products. We use cedar chips generally, but you can also use pine needles or burlap. But we'll get that going here in a bit, and that'll help calm the bees and mask any alarm pheromones. Because once they get alarmed that we're coming into their hive, they're gonna send out the signals to attack and defend. And so this will help mask that alarm pheromone. We also have spray bee feed, so it's like sugar water. So if we do have a lot of flyers, I don't want us to use it unless we have to, because obviously it's gonna make everything sticky. And so we're gonna have some cleanup on that. But it's another way that we can kind of hamper the activity if it starts getting pretty crazy in there. If you can see it, there's, what'd you call them?
They're air holes or weep holes.
Yeah, the weep holes. So they're up there, and we can't remember which one they were coming and going from, but it was one of the 2, I think, that was on this end. And we will close that eventually, but for today we might leave it open so that way any bees that are still in the wall or who are foraging, coming and going, can smell the queen that's gonna be right here below it. And so they'll relocate whenever they smell her in the hive. Yeah, I got comb. You up or down?
Up.
Okay. This is the honeycomb. I don't see any bees though. It looks like either capped honey already. There's nothing on it, but that right there is comb. Yes, we were able to take the scope in there and we saw comb. We didn't see bees. But we know that this is an established hive. They've been here for about a year. So we know where their hive starts. And now we're just gonna drill some more holes inside and find out where it goes.
So when they cap off some of the older stuff, does that mean they've moved on to, and that's like reserve?
Exactly, and that's what allows us to harvest honey, and then the bees can still survive because they produce so much as honeybees that we can harvest and they still have enough to live on for the winter. There's honey in it, but it's all been cracked open. And so what that means is bees are coming in and stealing the honeycomb. So instead of there being an active hive in here, there was an active hive last year. They built all this comb, stored up all the honey, but these bees are coming in and stealing it because that hive most likely died over the winter.
So this is how it usually looks. It covered up, and you see how they broke it open? And so what they do is come chew that open and suck up the honey and steal it.
We finished up checking for a surviving hive over winter, but sadly it didn't make it. But what we've decided to do is to go ahead and use this cavity that we've been able to get in and explore as a swarm trap for spring. So in the spring, bees have outgrown their hives a lot of time and look for a location to land a swarm of bees. Kind of looks like a football full of bees. But since this hive has already been established in the wall, it smells like beeswax, it smells like honeycomb and honey. And so other bees are going to be attracted to it. So we decided we're going to open it up and let a swarm of bees find that cavity and then be able to just go in there, harvest the swarm, and put it in a hive. And so since we've gone ahead and explored the wall, we've done some damage cutting into the wall, we're going to go ahead and turn that into a swarm trap. So we can just check it every couple of weeks through the spring, and we should find a bundle of bees that we can use to start a new hive. So this is a really easy way to lure bees into a location where we want them ideally, because if you don't set up swarm traps, they can land anywhere in the city, and we don't want them to find another entrance and us have to cause more damage to the building. So since we've already created a hole, we've already found that cavity they were using, now we can just use it with the bees so that way they can find a home and we can put them somewhere safe.